Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and creatures of the internet of all shapes and sizes. We're back with Songs of Conquest. I seem to be playing a lot of that today because, you know, I took a day off to play it, right, like you do. And since I have, well, I might as well play it, right? My original plan was to play a lot of multiplayer with random people, and I practiced yesterday on my skirmish maps for it. And guess what? It's impossible to make a lobby. So I have kind of given up on that, and we're going to play a campaign. We're going to play the first campaign because it also can teach you a lot about the game, so I guess that's added value. And perhaps today evening or tomorrow I'm going to ask on Discord, basically challenge people. Anyone who wants to can drop by my stream and write in the chat, hey, I would like to play a lobby with you, and I'll just play a lobby with them, right? That's the plan for tomorrow. I'm not very confident that we're gonna have a lot of takers because my stream is basically dead, but we'll see. Let's not be too pessimistic about it. Without further ado, let's go to our plan B, the Arleon campaign, the Song of Stoutheart. And this is what it's about. Cecilia Stoutheart, the young baroness of the barony of Stoutheart, must face enemies within and without to hold on to her power and protect her people. Stoutheart will stand. Will it? Okay, wow. Have a nice map here. In the year 593 AA, I'm not sure what AA stands for, but it's not before Christ. Young Cecilia Stoutheart rose to Baroness after the untimely death of her father. I know because before Christ doesn't start with an A. Rose to Baroness after an untimely death of her father, when ore shipments from Barkspur's rich mines go missing and rumors of bandits are brought to the new ruler. Cecilia leads a small force to investigate the missing resources and restore lawfulness to the barony. Alright. Let's restore lawfulness to the barony. A new baroness. Does I need to continue? I will. I shall. Cecilia Stoutheart, the new baroness of the barony of Stoutheart, was on her way to the quarters of Flint Hills. All shipments of stone from this region had stopped, and she was determined to find out why. She suspected an uprising of bandits and peasants, and had already sent troops to the region to restore order. So I have an inkling as to why that is. But maybe we shouldn't say. Maybe we should say. We should speculate and we'll see if we're right. So my idea is, since another faction in this game, the frog people, the Rana of the swamp. I used to say it as Rana even yesterday, but now it kind of just rolled like that off with my tongue and I kind of like it, I might keep it. So anyway, the frog people of the swamp, the Rana, have a background as slaves in a mine. The campaign, I think, is about them liberating themselves, I believe, but I haven't played it yet, so we don't know. I have an inkling that maybe all the campaigns in the game are going to be subtly connected, and this is a connection between this and that. Don't know, so. Gallows, death comes to all some sooner than others. Arleon milestone. This old milestone shows the way. It knows the way. Okay. The dead something. The dead commander wore Stoutheart colors and the distinctive sign of the Corvus Reserves. Stolen ore was one thing, but an uprising against Stoutheart troops was more serious. Okay, and we enter turn. So, travel to Flint Hills. Cecilia Stoutheart must not die. I'm pretty sure she won't die. Wait, did we not pick this up? Thought that triggering the event was basically the same as... And let's come back, since it's the campaign, it's probably not going to be too difficult. Thought that triggering the event was basically the same as having visited it. But that's not the case, it would seem. The Corvus Reserves. Some wounded soldiers appeared from the forest and snapped to attention. This was Cecilia's Corvus Reserves, and they had clearly seen combat recently. I can see clearly now, combat. Hail Baroness, the Corvus reserves await your command. Cecilia Stoutheart, Lieutenant. You've seen some combat. What is the situation and status of the mines? Our scouts detected hostiles about, milady. The gold mine to the south has been seized by rebels. We also encountered an unexpectedly well-armed force at Flint Hills to the west. We took heavy casualties and were forced to retreat. How well armed? These aren't peasants with tools and knives. They have crossbows and swords, and bannerless knights ride with them. This is no peasant uprising. Someone thinks me weak and seeks to take advantage of my father's death, to steal more than a few shipments of ore. We must uphold the laws and show them the error of their ways. Gather the troops. We march for Flint Hills. Okay. Let's have it. Okay. That's not how we drag it. This way and this way. Actually, we're gonna make an extra one guy here to make us essence, because if you have troops in this game, they generate a resource that's used for casting spells. That resource is called essence, and every stack generates a fixed amount of this essence. Gonna take the units. So if you have an extra stack, no matter how small, it's gonna generate faster. Life hacks, people, life hacks. Cecilia Stoutheart, stand down! This mine belongs to the barony of Stoutheart. It belongs to me. Rebel militia, we will do no such thing. You would be wise to go back to your castle and prepare for a storm. There's one coming, I gather. You could say one's gathering. You gather. The only storm gathering here is me. Prepare yourselves. Okay. Is this high terrain, these? Nope, it's normal terrain. I think I'm just gonna... Okay, this is actually high terrain. And do a manual battle. I don't know. I have essence, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna move this guy away. He's just bait. Doesn't do anything here. We'll move him away, I don't know. This could probably be done without losses. I'm not sure though. I'm gonna do it with losses, because, you know, life is spicier with losses. Real life is losses all the time. Guard is melee resistance, and cunning is a bunch of various different things. I really like the cunning skill, because my favorite Rana hero, I used to play as Rana in my skirmish maps. He doesn't have many, like, tough, hard, stat providing skills, but he can have cunning. It's possible for him to get cunning. So I really like when I get cunning. And that's it, let's hit the turn to turn. Okay, this is already visited, we can't revisit it. About this one, we can visit this again. So I'm still a bit confused as to which movement granting skills can be reused in a turn or quickly after being used for the first time, and which can't be. Probably depends on how long they last. Wielders of the Essence. Cecilia was no ordinary commander. She was a wielder and could draw upon the essence of her troops to weave mighty spells. Tribute to Order. As she touched the old Tribute to Order, she felt its... okay, we missed it. She felt its essence, that's for sure. Don't know what more. Okay, we're gonna take the... okay, I wanted to drag them for some reason, I'm not sure why. Yeah, confirm. Take all. The Aurelian Empire. Aurelian? Hundreds of years ago, the Empire of Aurelia spanned the whole world. Statues of the Empress can still be found spread across Arleon. Arleon? Statues of the Empress can still be found spread around Arleon, and many folk speak dreamingly of the golden years of Aurelia. Not my best reading. Rebel barricade. Erected barricades and a small force of armed peasants blocked the road west. Ha, peasants. Armed peasants. You best be gone, young stout heart. Flint Hills are free lands now. Free? Free to be attacked by bandits and pillaged by other baronies. Who will protect the people? You? Why not? As you can see, we are quite well armed. Are you though? I can see that, but I caution you to think carefully before your next actions. Put down your weapons, answer my questions, and I'll be merciful. Or stand unlawfully against me, and my sword will deliver justice. Now, who armed you? One of good intentions. I've seen Stoutheart Mercy when old Lord Hammond was decapitated by your father. Now turn back. It brings me no pleasure to turn my sword upon my subjects, but unlawful acts will not be tolerated. Stoutheart will stand. I think we'll cluster up in here somewhere. Makes you wonder what's there. I kinda want to put these guys over here as bait and then move them downward. We'll see. We'll see if one of the enemy units takes the bait. Well, I'm the first to move, so it's not gonna work. Should I move at all? Should I move at all? Okay. He's loading. Do you have any damaging spell? No, not really, no. Here we go. Easy. I really don't like fighting against ranged units. It's gonna give you losses every time, I think. Almost every time. I'm gonna get losses here. But, this is made to be an entry-level mission. Okay, let's make a quaint little save, just in case we die, you know, like you sometimes do. Knights at Flint Hills. As Cecilia's troops approached Flint Hills, a well-armed force of soldiers wearing no barony's colours came out to meet them. Cecilia Stoutheart. Knights, archers, you're no ordinary bandit force. I've always wanted to kill a wielder. You won't be the first upstart knight I've defeated. Maybe it's not such a good idea, because could have put. Well, no, it's fine, because all of them have high ground now. Can I move? Well, I can't. Can't move where I wanted to. Wait, I move, but he's not gonna get that in time. Didn't, of course. This guy's reloading. Damn it. Well, I feel like we took some unnecessary losses here. A crowd of peasants led by a village elder came out to greet Cecilia as her force entered Flint Hills. I have defeated the rebels and restored Flint Hills to the protection of Stoutheart, as is my duty. Now who among you will tell me what happened? Those knights and their soldiers appeared recently and armed all the local troublemakers. They seized our quarries and mines and started sending the shipments south towards Barkspur, where their patron waits. And none of you stood against them. None of you sent word to the local warden or to Springhold. No, milady. We were afraid for our lives. We sent a messenger to Hope's Glade to warn them and ask for help, but the messenger never returned. Remember this moment the next time you are made the offer of independence. I will always protect the barony from threats within and without. Join my forces, and together we will restore order to this territory. We'll heed the call to arms of Stoutheart, as we did for your father before you. There are able-bodied recruits in the peasant hut. Alright, so earlier on there was mention of... Can't fit in anymore. There was mention of Cecilia's father beheading Lord Hammond. We don't know who that is quite yet. But some Hammonds, not necessarily Lord Hammond because he was beheaded, but some Hammonds might appear later in the campaign. Who knows? It might be worth it to remember the surname, the name. Hammond could be actually first name. We don't know. A forward scout. A small band of Cecilia's scouts stood waiting along the roadside side? Roadside side? Not what it said. Lady Stoutheart, Corporal Greenwood, we've come from your warden. Villager of Thorncliff, as per your command. Your troops are concealed at the forest's edge. Villager Thorncliff, I don't know who that is. I think she is a hero, or the Arleon faction. But I don't quite concisely remember which one she was. Corporal, this is not the forest's edge. These troops are camped within the Tenderworld. You may have disturbed the Fae. The Fae, milady? Surely the Fae are only a myth. Superstitions for the country folk. Did my ancestors sign a covenant with mythological creatures? The law of the leaves still stands, and we must make sacrifice or break the peace. Consider what we must forfeit. No, consider what we must forfeit. The forest beings to atone for your error. I await your judgment. My life is yours. Your death would serve no one. If I remember my history, there is an offering tree southwest of here. I need all of my troops, even the ones who make mistakes. Your loyal servant, Lady Stoutheart. I feel very much like the Starks from the Game of Thrones. Like this whole grounded idea of nobility that has thieves and peasants, plays the role of protecting their lands from the neighboring lords that also have thieves and their own peasants and would gladly take over your thieves and your peasants. Combined also with a tradition of something older, like the Starks remembered the what were they called? The trees with faces, and the children of the forest. That sort of thing. And I'm talking about the books. I've never seen the series. I'm not sure if that's that vibe is preserved in the series. It might not be. Damn it. And the book, the first one was really good. It felt like this is the beginning of something really great, but as it progressed, it kind of petered out. It's not the same thing. It was towards what is now the end, but not really the end. I think it's never going to be completed. Anyway, let's get back to the campaign. A curious arch. As Cecilia examined this strange arch, arc? I think it's an arc, actually, not an arch. Or it could be an arch. I don't know. Whoa! Disappeared. So she examined it and something happened. Did I misclick something? No way. No way. I need to probably be faster with my reading then, I guess. No digressions. No tangents. Even go there. What's that? Sacrifices have been made. They fill Cecilia's stout heart with power. This is movement. This is what? What is this? The spores from these strange mushrooms fill the army with berserker rage. These guys actually are fast and deal a lot of damage, but they're also rather squishy. I only have experience fighting against them, not with them in my army. So this is my impression. Deranged Fae. Fae spirits. No, Fae spirits, flying creatures of the tender world with bat-like wings, long claws and sharp teeth, swooped and burst before the offering tree. They wore strange masks and screeched at Cecilia and her troops. Humans, be gone. We wish to live. Language malfunction. We wish to leave an offering for our trespass on the forest, as is stated in the ancient covenant between us. Stand aside, little spirits. I would do my duty. No humans. No, never. Spirits, do not trifle with me. I am Stoutheart, and by the agreement I seek to make amends. If you continue to impede my passage to the offering tree, I will draw arms and put you out of your misery. You are misery. Misery. To be it. I'm not sure what sort of an agreement they have, but I hardly think this is going to improve the situation between the Fae and the people, the humans, the Stouthearts. I don't know. I have a feeling I should move away and shoot. Can they reach? Okay, these can reach for sure. I knew it would be like that. Yeah, this guy is reloading. I think we could maybe snip this. Okay, we can't. They can't do melee when they're reloading. Good to know. Because I wanted to walk up to the Fae and just swoosh him with my melee attack. Because melee attacks don't really reload in real life. But apparently that's not an option. It makes kind of sense because the guy is there reloading his thing. He's too busy. The offering tree was the most unusual tree Cecilia had ever seen. Her friend, Vilger of Thorncliff, had described them once, but it had not done them justice. The branches were smooth and glossy, and seemed to be lit from within. The leaves tinkled like tiny bells in the breeze, and most uncommon, the tree gave off the aroma of warm, spiced cider like her mother would give her when she was small. Cecilia Stoutheart. Fae of the forest, for trespass upon your woods we offer compensation. For these Fae spirits slain I ask forgiveness, they could not be reasoned with. Let our peace be everlasting. The offerings were presented and we get offense and defense. Visited. Also visited. I think we have no need to go back and resupply ourselves with the extra 5 peasants, but we could. Oh well, how do you close that? I'm still at times lost in the UI of this game. Barian mercenaries. Guarding the road was a large force of mercenaries hailing from the merchant states of Baria. Turn back, the road is open for all shipments from Flint Hills only. I see you are strangers to these lands, or you would know me as the lawful Baroness Stoutheart. I do not recall a declaration of war from the Barian city-states. Therefore, you are thieves and trespassers. What other crimes shall I add to the list? We've committed no crimes, we are honorable mercenaries here on contract and merely following orders. I spit on your contract. You have my oar, therefore you are thieves. You will return it, tell me who hired you, and maybe I will ransom you back to your employers. We are not afraid to fight, Stoutheart, but be warned, our contract states that no one wearing Stoutheart colors are to be spared on the field of battle. Of course, if you turn around now, we can avoid this battle. Never. You shall be treated as thieves and trespassers, and my sword will deliver justice for breaking our laws. Then, unfortunately, we must battle. Unfortunately. I think this is good. Acceptable. I move away. I think I'll move a little bit away. How far do these guys go? Not too far. Weaklings. Okay, this guy is reloading. I did not account for that. Get wrecked. Okay, I really need that. Oh no, that's the movement one. Thought it was something next battle. That's why I clicked it. Could use some more units. But we'll do just fine. Cecilia's troops searched the smoking remains of Hope's Glade looking for survivors. The townsfolk had clearly put up a fight, and for that they had suffered. From the rubble they heard a moan, and they uncovered a badly injured militiaman. Lady Stoutheart, we held as long as we could. We had to retreat. They were too strong. Who did this? Barians. A troop of Barian mercenaries marched on towards Baxpa, but it were knights that attacked us, men of Arleon, setting fire to our homes, taking no surrender. All we could do was flee to the hills north of here. The wounded man tried to speak, then fell limp. His eyes glazed over as the last sliver of strength left his body. His essence is in the wind, but Stoutheart still stands. Come, there are survivors here yet. Let's search the hills before we journey south to Barkspur. It's time to put an end to this. Look for survivors, optional. Survivors. How do you look for survivors? I don't need that. Survivors. As they reached the top of the hill, they found a sturdy tavern and the soot-covered, injured and scared survivors of Hope's Glade. From among them, a minstrel stood and greeted Cecilia. Minstrel. Hell, do my eyes deceive me? The Baroness of Stoutheart to grant reprieve. If you mean to avenge those foul knights, then we brave souls would join your fight. And with your aid, Stoutheart will stand, returning peace and order to the land. Okay, that's +5 movement. Completed objective. Guess let's take him. I would have rather had the ranged troops, but can't always get what you want. Well, I mean I could come back for them, but at this point it seems pointless. Maybe the game is gonna have some sort of a tutorial on bards now. Because they have a special ability, right? Gazing across the lake, Cecilia saw the settlement of Barkspur. It was clearly occupied by another force of Barian mercenaries, this one led by a wielder. She readied her soldiers for the final battle to retake this region. Updated objective, defeat enemy wielder. I shall. His name is Nemanda Breeze. Let's do it, let's do the manual battle. Maybe I should actually do quick battles here, since it's the first map, and it all should be easy. I shouldn't have losses that would prevent me from completing the objective of it. I don't know. Five, 7, okay, fine. 8. I'm still reloading. There we go. I think the losses weren't half terrible. Should be acceptable losses. After the battle, a beaten Nemander Breeze is brought before Cecilia. Wielder, we appeal to your honor and beg that we may negotiate a surrender. I am Nemander Breeze of the Quartz Battalion and a stranger to these parts. I concede the field and will withdraw my forces. You are indeed a stranger, Baryon, or you would know by my colors that I am Cecilia Stoutheart. Was it your weapons that armed the bandits who caused the uprising at my mines? There was a misunderstanding, milady. We were led to believe by our employer that they had a lawful claim on these lands. When we realized our betrayal, we had already signed the contract. By the mercenary code, we could not withdraw our forces. Our services, he wanted to say, actually. Reveal to me your employer and their plans, and if I am satisfied with your answer, I will spare you. But every Baryon of your company must leave my lands immediately. It was Lady Hammond that hired us. The Topaz Battalion is sent to recover Ashbourne. We are grateful for your mercy, Lady Stoutheart. May this deal bring good fortune to each party. The information is adequate. I will spare your life and instead send you to the prison in Castle Everkeep. There, you may contemplate that honor might be worth more than gold. Corporal, this is your chance to redeem yourself for your error in the Tenderwild. Take 2 squads and transport Captain Nemander Breeze to Everkeep until we can arrange for his ransom. You can depend on me, Lady Stoutheart. Okay. Victory! Oh, so this concludes the first mission. That's kinda short. I think we'll do another one. With Barkspur restored to Stoutheart rule of law, Cecilia gathered her troops once more and set out to pursue the Topaz Battalion and prevent the occupation of Ashbourne. For this, she would need the aid of Vilja of Thorncliffe, Warden of Stoutheart and Cecilia's longtime friend. We're gonna meet Vilja. Or Vilia. Oh.
With grim conviction rose Cecilia of Stoutheart to crush rebellions and push back another upstart. Lady Hammond claimed her settlements. Settle it, we begin.
Okay, that was kind of quaint, very simple. You can see the low budget, but it wasn't garish or anything. It was decent. And I've heard that you get a mini cutscene like that after every mission, so that should be a lot of them. This marks the end of the short and sweet mission 1. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and maybe consider checking me out on Twitch, link in the description. May your honor always be worth more than gold, or some other Arleon thing, I really don't know. Have a great day. Bye.